Hello, good morning dear students. Welcome back to my today's class. For PUC first year, this is my second class. In first class, we have discussed some important and basic concepts of the biology. First, we have seen the introduction of biology, what is the definition, how the term biology came, that we have discussed. And then we have seen who is the father of biology. And there are two main sub-branches of biology, that is botany and the zoology. We have discussed in the previous class. Also, we have seen who is the father of botany and who is the father of zoology. So, I told you that these are the two main branches. Okay, two main categories of the biology which is distributed based on the plants and the animals. And then later I told you the sub-branches of the biology. That are many more branches are there. Some example I given you. Okay. And then your syllabus for PUC first year science. What the syllabus is there, that is distributed in a 5 units. So it is distributed in 5 units, that is the sub branches of biology. So as the biology is differentiated into botany and the zoology, but according to the NCERT syllabus, it is not distributed separately. The syllabus is mixed. In today's class, we will discuss about the PUC first year science syllabus. Okay. Totally this syllabus is framed in a 5 units, and that 5 units have the 22 chapters. So for your academic year of PUC first year science, you have totally 22 chapters. And we are the 4 biology teachers, and these 22 chapters are distributed among these 4 biology teachers. Okay. So today we will see what are the syllabus. So whatever I will write on the board, the syllabus, you have to note down. Okay. I will go through the first unit, unit 1. Unit 1. Diversity in living world. Diversity in living world. So this is your first unit. Okay, what is the unit? Diversity in living world. So in that the chapters are, what are the chapters? We'll see. Chapter number 1, the living world. The living world. Next, chapter number 2, biological classification. Biological classification. First, I will write the names of these chapters, and later I will tell you what you are going to study in these chapters. Next is chapter number 3, plant kingdom. And chapter number 4 is animal kingdom. Okay, so as I told you, the unit number 1 is diversity in living world. So this is the first unit which have the 4 chapters. First one is the living world. So the living world, in that you are going to study. First I will tell you what is meant by this diversity in the living world. So diversity meaning is what? Different forms. And the living world means in the planet what are the different forms of life, what are the characters of living organisms, that entirely you are going to study in this first unit. So the first chapter is the living world. In that you are going to study about the living organisms, how the organisms are living, what are the characters of living organisms, and then what are the categories which the living organisms are classified. That you are going to study in the first chapter, that is the living world. Next one is a biological classification. So biological classification means in that you have to study the classification of organisms. How these organisms are classified under the different groups, and what are that? First of all, what biological classification means? Systematically all the organisms are placed differently in a different categories. according to their similar character. So as you know that the organisms are the microorganisms, higher organisms, the plants are there, the animals are there. So many kind of the different organisms are there. So they have been distributed according to their characters, their similarities that you are going to study in this biological classification. In the classification, you are going to study the 5 kingdom system of classification. Means totally the organisms are classified into 5 kingdoms. Okay, that in detail you are going to study in the second chapter. So what are that 5 kingdoms? Monera, Protista, the next Plantae, Animalia, and the 5 are there. So among that, we will focus to the last 2 kingdoms, that is kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia. Kingdom Plantae means the plant kingdom. All the plants are placed under one kingdom and that is called as the plant kingdom. Then another one is the animals. All the animals are placed in a single categories and it is called as the animal kingdom. So what here, chapter number 3 is the plant kingdom. In that you are going to study the characters of plants and then how these plants are classified again in the subcategories, classes, okay, divisions, classes, that is we have to study in this plant kingdom. Again the plant kingdom, already you know that the algae are there, bryophytes are there, pteridophytes, then next is gymnosperms and the angiosperm. The classification of plants and the characters of plants that you are going to study in this plant kingdom. Similarly, in chapter number 4, that is animal kingdom, here also you are going to study in detail about the classification of animals, animal kingdom. And there you are going to study the animals are classified into different phylums. And each phylums, the characters of each phylum that we are going to study. Okay, so this is about the brief introduction of the unit number 1. Then we will go through the unit 2. Unit number 2. Structural organization. Structural organization in plants and animals. In plants and animals. Okay, this is your second unit number 2. In that, the continuation of chapters here, chapter number 5. We will see here chapter number 5. Morphology of flowering plant. Chapter number 5 is morphology of flowering plant. And next is chapter number 6. Chapter number 6 is anatomy of flowering plant. Okay, chapter number 6 is anatomy of flowering plant. Next, from this same unit only, chapter number 7, structural organization in animals. Organization in animals. Okay. So I will tell you about this unit. That is unit number 2 is the structural organization in plants and animals. In this unit you are going to study about the plants and animals, the structure of plants and animals. It may be of a morphologically means externally, anatomically means internally. And then here in this first chapter is the chapter number 5, that is morphology of flowering plants. So flowering plants first we will see. Flowering plant means these are nothing but these are the class of what? The plant kingdom. These flowering plants are the divisions, that is angiosperms. As the plants are classified as a algae, bryophyte, pteridophyte and angiosperms, and finally the last is the angiosperms. So angiosperms are what? These are the higher plants among the plant kingdom. So chapter number 5, in that you are going to study the morphology of flowering plant. Means morphology means, remember that, the external appearance. Externally means the study of flowering plants externally, what the morphological characters are there, root, stem and the leaf, what types of roots are there, stem are there, leaves are there. All the morphological character you are going to study in the chapter number 5. And next one is the chapter number 6 is anatomy of flowering plant. Anatomy means it is also the branch of biology. Anatomy means the internal structure. Study of internal structure of the flowering plants is the anatomy. Okay, chapter number 6 it is. Next is from this unit only, the chapter number 7 is the structural organization in animals. In this you are going to study the structure and the function of the animals, that is animal tissues are there, the morphological characters are there, anatomical characters are there, all the structure of concern with the animals that you are going to study in the chapter number 7. Okay, so this is about the second unit. Now we will see the unit number 3. Okay, you also note down the syllabus, which is very important to know about the syllabus. Unit number 3 is the cell. In that you are going to study structure and function. The unit number 3 is the cell structure and the function. What the chapters are there in this, we'll see the continuation of chapter number 8 is. Chapter number 8, first chapter is cell, the unit of life. The unit of life. Next is chapter number 9, biomolecules. Okay, and next is chapter number 10, that is cell cycle and cell division. So the unit number 3 is the cell. Okay, the unit name is the cell. So cell means already know that what is the cell. The cell is the basic and what? The functional, structural and functional unit of a living organism. So in this unit you are going to study in detail about the cell. What is the structure of cell? What are the function of cell? So regarding that, the chapter number 8 is there, that is cell. So the cell, the unit of life. In that you are going to study what is the cell, the structure of cell, structure of animal cell, plant cell, and you know that each of the cell has a different organelles. So the structure of different organelles like chloroplast, mitochondria, ribosomes, lysosomes, like this many more cell organelles are there. In this topic you are going to study about the structure of cell organelles and what are the functions of cell organelles, which is very important. Okay, and then next we will move to the chapter number 9, that is biomolecules. In that you are going to study biomolecule means in that you have to study about the carbohydrates, then vitamins, amino acids, proteins. So carbohydrate different types. So this entirely you have to study in the chapter number 9, that is biomolecules. Next is the chapter number 10, and that is the cell cycle and cell division. So the cell, you know that here you will study about the cell, and then here when we come to the cell cycle and cell division, so you know that every individual cell has the ability to divide. A single cell can divide, and which forms the 2 cell, 4 cell, like this the cell division can be occurs. And that the cell is a unit of life. So here some organisms are there which are the unicellular and some are the multicellular. Unicellular means the organism which is made up of a single cell. So how the reproduction can occur? A single cell can divide and it forms 2 cells, which 2 organisms can grow. So that this is the cell cycle and cell division you will study in this topic. Cell cycle means here the cell has a cycle. What the sub stages are there, phases of cell cycle is there. And then next one is the cell division you will study. So usually the cell division has 2 types. One is the mitosis and another one is the meiosis. What are mitosis? What are meiosis? What are the types of this mitosis and meiosis? In detail you will study in the chapter number 10, and that is cell cycle and cell division. So this is about the 3rd unit. Now we will see the next unit, that is the unit number 4, that is, I will write here the unit number 4. So totally these are the 3 units. Okay, now we'll see here unit number 4. Unit number 4, plant physiology. Okay, so this is your unit number 4, and what the topics will come in this, that we'll see here, the chapter number 11. Okay, first chapter from this unit is transport in plants. Transport in plants. Next, chapter number 12, mineral nutrition. Mineral nutrition. Next is chapter number 13, photosynthesis. Okay, and next is chapter number 14, respiration. And chapter number 15 is growth and growth regulators. Growth regulators. Okay, so listen now. Unit number 4 is the plant physiology. So as you know that the physiology also is the branch of biology. So in this unit you have to study about the plants, plant physiology. So already I told you the physiological processes, what are that? The example I told you at that time, photosynthesis, respiration, growth. These are the physiological processes. Okay, so that you have to study in the plants. So by these 5 chapters, I will tell you about the chapter number 11, that is the transport in plants. In this chapter, you have to study about the transportation of water and the minerals and the food material in the plants, how it can transfer from roots to the all parts of the plant body, and then how this process of the this phloem transport takes place. So all the types of tissue already you have to learn in the anatomy of flowering plant. So here you have to see transporting plants in that. The transportation mechanism of absorption of water, minerals and the nutrients. That you have to study in the chapter number 11. Next is chapter number 12, that is mineral nutrition. So mineral nutrition means here, these are the nutrients which is required by the plants to survive. Okay, so these are the nutrients which is very important. Every living organism is required to survive this nutrient. So in this mineral nutrition, you have to study what are the necessity, what are the requirements of the plants, and then what are the different types of the nutrient. For example, micronutrient, macronutrients, different are there. Okay, so what are the requirements and what are the deficiency symptoms of that nutrients, what the diseases can occur if the plant will not get that nutrient. Entirely that in detail you have to study the mineral nutrition chapter. Chapter number 13 is the what? Photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is one of the physiological process in the plants. So what is this process? As you know that the plants are the autotrophs. Okay, plants are the autotroph means what? The plants can synthesize their own food by the process of photosynthesis. With the help of the sunlight, because of the presence of chlorophyll in the plants, they are able to synthesize their own food. So in this topic you have to study where this photosynthesis occurs, in which part of the plant body, and then which is the organelle which is responsible for to carry out this process of photosynthesis, and the process of photosynthesis can carried out by the different cycles. What are that? Light reaction, dark reaction, in detail you have to study. So just remember that the photosynthesis is nothing but it is a process in which the synthesis of food material takes place. That in detail you have to study in the chapter number 13, that is photosynthesis. Next one is chapter number 14, that is the respiration. So already you know that the respiration is one of the important physiological process for living organism. So how the animal can be respire, similarly the plants also can respire. Okay, so the respiration process, in that to survive the plants also have to respire. So in this topic you are going to study again the oxidative phosphorylation, and then next one is you have to study the glycolysis process, Krebs cycle. In detail about the respiration you have to study in the chapter number 14. Next is from this topic the last chapter is the chapter number 15, and that is growth and the growth regulators. So growth is one of the important character of the living organism. Okay, so growth is what? It is an irreversible process. It is a permanent change in the living organism. So growth means how the plant can be grow. They can be reached to the certain stage of the life. So phases of growth we have to study here. And how the growth can take place in plants? It is due to the presence of some of the growth hormones, and which is also called as the growth regulators. So to grow that particular plant to a certain height, certain limit of height, the plant requires the hormones, and which are called as the growth regulators. In this topic you have to study what is growth, what are the phases of growth, how the growth can take place, and what are the growth hormones, that is nothing but growth regulators. Some of the growth regulators you have to study along with their function, along with their deficiency symptoms in this topic. So this is about this unit number 4, that is plant physiology, and which is framed under the 5 different topics. Now next we have to study about the human physiology. Okay, last unit, that is unit number 5, is the human physiology. Human physiology. Okay, so in this you have to study chapter number 16. Totally 7 chapters are there in this unit. Okay, so in human physiology, first of all you have to study the first chapter, that is chapter number 16, digestion and absorption. Okay, so in this topic, as you know that human physiology. Human physiology means the physiological process in concern with the human, how the processes can occur and what are that processes. First of all, chapter number 16, that is digestion and the absorption. So as you know that this is the physiological process in the human, very important it is. So to survive that organism, this process is required. So digestion means you have the food. After having the food, what? The process of digestion takes place. How the process of digestion takes place, and what are the absorption, what are the enzymes which are responsible to convert the complex substances into the simpler substances, how this digestion process can take place, that you have to study in the chapter number 16, that is digestion and the absorption. Next we will see the chapter number 17, breathing and exchange of gases. Okay, so this breathing and exchange of gases. Breathing is nothing but again the process of respiration. So as in plants the respiration can take place, similarly in the animals, that is by the process that is called as the breathing. In that you have to study the types of breathing and then the exchange of gases. Exchange of gases means you have to study, see, while respiring we will take the oxygen inside and will release the CO2, that is carbon dioxide, outside. So these are the processes we have to study, that is exchange of gases. And next is respiratory quotient, RQ, you have to study in this topic, that is breathing and exchange of gases in the chapter number 17. And now we will see the continuation is chapter number 18. Chapter number 18 is body fluids and circulation. chapter number 18 is the body fluids and circulation. So in that you are going to study about the blood. Body fluids means what the fluid which can be flow inside the body of organism. Body fluids are that the point will come what? Blood. So blood, what are the different types of bloods? Blood tissues are there. And then next one is circulation. Process of circulation, that is mechanism of double circulation we have to study. Means how the heart will pump the blood, impure blood and this pure blood, how the circulation can take place, that we have to study in the chapter number 18, that is body fluids and circulation. And next is we have to study, the next topic is the chapter number 19, that is excretion and excretory product. Excretory product and their elimination. Chapter number 19, that is excretory product and their elimination. So as the process of excretion. So after the digestion process, all the food will get digested inside the body, and then whatever the waste product is there in the body, that will goes out through the process of excretion. That we have to study in this topic, that is chapter number 19, excretory product and their elimination. Okay, in that we have to study about the excretory products. Next is chapter number 20. You have to study in this locomotion. The chapter name is locomotion and movement. Okay, locomotion and movement. So every living organism, what the heterotrophic it is. Humans are also heterotrophic. In this topic, we have to study the locomotion. Locomotion means we can move from one place to the another place. That process is called as the locomotion, and the movement. So here about the locomotion and movement of that humans, we have to study in the chapter number. Next, we have to study the chapter number 21. That is neural control and coordination. And the last chapter is chapter number 22, that is chemical coordination and integration. Okay. So neural control and coordination. So nervous system you have to study in this topic, and their coordination you have to study. And the last topic of your syllabus is the chapter number 22, that is chemical coordination and integration. Chemical coordination. Okay. So this is about your syllabus. That is the syllabus about for you units, and which is framed in the 22 chapters. I think you understood. So whatever I have written on the board, you just note down in your book the chapters, and then from the next class we will start your real syllabus, that is will start a particular chapters. Okay. So this is regarding the syllabus what I have discussed and placed in front of you, and then now just we'll go through briefly about the exams. Okay. So as academically in the PUC first year, we'll engage the 2 unit test, 1 midterm examination and 1 annual examination. Okay. So see, 2 unit examination, unit test will conduct, and 1 midterm examination, 1 annual examination. So concerned with the annual examination, we'll come to the annual examination. So as about means totally you have the 6 chapters, 6 subjects. So in that 6 subjects, the 3 subjects are the practical subject. One is the physics, chemistry and biology. So the subjects which are the practical subject, that subjects are distributed into the 2 exams. One is the theory exam, another one is the practical exam. So totally you have the 100 marks for per subject. So in the 100 marks in practical subject, write the theory paper of the 70 marks and the 30 marks of the practical examination. Here I will tell you about the biology subject. Okay, about the biology exam. First, I will tell you about the theory. Your totally theory paper will be of 70 marks. Okay, so theory exam is on the 70 marks. So your 70 marks question paper will give you for 3 hours 15 minutes, and then here this 70 marks question paper is distributed into 1 mark question, 2 marks question, 3 mark and 5 marks questions. It is framed in 1 mark questions, 2 mark, 3 mark and lastly 5 marks questions. Okay, so this is framed according to these marks. So whenever we will teach you the particular topics, at that time what the concept will teach you, at that time only we will tell you which is the important point, which is not the important point, and it is the important point for 1 mark, 2 mark, 3 mark, 5 marks. Whenever we will tell that, at that time only you have to note down in your book which is the important concept for the particular marks. Next is regarding the practicals. Practical exam is about the 30 marks. Okay, so totally 100 marks biology paper is distributed into 2 exams. One is the theory, another one is the practical. Theory subjects you have the 70 marks examination, and in that the questions are framed according to this 1 mark, 2 mark, 3 mark and 5 marks. So remaining 30 marks question paper, 30 marks are for the practical examination that we conduct in our laboratory. So on the basis of the experiment, what you will perform, what you will write in the answer sheet, that according to that you will get the marks. So I thought to tell you this about the examination. I think you have understood. So today we have discussed about the syllabus, introduction of syllabus. We have seen the particular all the chapters of your PUC first year syllabus, and then I told you briefly about the examination. Okay. So these are the points which I have completed in today's class. From next class, I will start the chapter number 3, that is the plant kingdom. Okay, we will start with a new chapter from a new class. Until that, stay home, stay safe.